I'm on now. Hey, so you got clout. So you got clout. I'm on now. Say I'm on now. Hey, got to celebrate life, and that's alright. Know what I do. Yeah, I can't been working so hard, disappointing the couples out of these moves. Let me hit snooze, time for me to get up.
So take me through this, your process. Okay, so you're out of high school. At what point do you start to like seek out manager, agents, and things of that nature?
Well, because I was more so focused on and throughout high school, I mainly focused on my music. I did like internships. I had an internship with Divine Stevens at Upfront Megatainment. Where I used to like write for other artists, and I used to also do it, like interview other artists, kind of like this. But like I had internships, so I did that. I did amateur night at the Apollo. That didn't get booed, by the way.
That's okay. That's worth noting.
That used to be my go-to song. I sang it at the talent show. I sang it at amateur night at the Apollo. But yeah, so I did it. So mainly, and I worked with this producer named Bolo, and he actually produced the Whip Nene song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I worked with him when I was like 17. And that was like my first time recording, and I wanted to be like this soulful pop singer, right? This kind of darker voice that people weren't expecting coming from me. But then I was going to do like pop music. It was, yeah. But
okay, ain't no wrong with that.
What was your question again?
Well, at what point did you like start to seek out management and like agents?
Oh, right. Well, to fast forward into acting, I got my first agent. That's a complicated story, because my journey of having an agent is different from a lot of people. Like I know, especially out here, a lot of people ended up getting the Southeast agent first, and then they transitioned into the LA agent and stuff. I had a guy who was my agent for about a year or two, starting in 2013. And we kind of I never got any auditions from him, but he gave me a lot of advice. Like, we were always having meetings about like, okay, things about my career, like what we're going to do. But we never went anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I never got any auditions, and they were filming shows here left and right. And I'm like, yo. And so to the point where I was sending like full on comprehensive emails, like before Atlanta came out, when it was just a pilot, I remember sending him an email about that. Bessie, I remember Snowfall. It was going to be on, I got a story about that later, but It was going to be on Showtime originally. And I had this whole email with just all these different shows that we now all know and love that I scouted and found and was like, okay, can you submit me for these? But, nothing came of it. But what I learned from him was a lot of industry lessons that helped me later on. But after him, my mom, she knew this lady who ended up being my first like real agent, Sheila Leggett. Shout out to Sheila. And she's actually the one who helped me book 7 Seconds. She's the agent who did that. And so initially I was like, oh, I'm an actor in it. Well, we telling the story kind of backwards. Basically, after high school, I went to FAMU. Okay. And in FAMU, I was focusing on music and stuff. And I had a bunch of financial aid issues. So when I came back to Atlanta, I went to Georgia State, and I said, okay, when I get back to Atlanta, I'm going to start getting back into my acting for real. Okay. And this is prior to even having that other agent. So I slowly but surely was like doing short films and a lot of things. And my mom met this lady named Sheila, and she basically, we knew she was an agent, and they went to college around the same time. And Sheila said that, well, my mom was like, oh, well, you think you can like take a look at my son or whatever? And I talked to her, and I was like, I'm thinking about coming to LA. But come to find out, she was like, well, I think you should probably try to like build a resume out in Atlanta first and like get some credits, because it's very competitive out here. You don't have a reel right now. And so I think it's best that you just build up there where you're at. And so I did that. I learned all I could learn about the industry, like for real on my own. And then she just saw me through Facebook. I booked my first SAG role myself.
Oh, okay.
You know, so she saw all this stuff through Facebook. And as she saw that, then I finally reached out to her at the end of 2014. And I said, hey, do you think you would be interested in finally representing me? And she was like, absolutely. So I had an LA agent first, like still living out here doing only self-tapes with the LA agent without a Southeast agent for years.
Okay.
And so.
Okay, I get you.
So that's why like a lot of my journey is kind of, I wouldn't say backwards, but it's just different.
It's unique
based on where, right, exactly.
Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so with you doing all that yourself, how many projects do you think you did around that time when you were getting your own little small roles here and there?
I would say about 5. It started when I was, I did a program. It was called Studio 11 Films. And they had 1111 Project. And so I did a active intensive with Mariska Phillips, which was actually, what's the year? About 7 years ago this year.
Oh, okay.
And so...
so what, 2012?
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's...
Yeah.
I can't believe we're saying it doesn't feel like it, because I mean, I remember it so vividly, but it's really weird that that's been that long. But I did an active intensive around this time 7 years ago, and that was my introduction, like really, really back into acting, like focusing. Like I did musical theater my last year in college, but that was my introduction, really getting back into it full swing. And I booked a role in that, in one of the leads in this short film called Crossroads. And then I booked a few other short films, and I started doing extra work. So
that's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was what do you think is not 7 seconds, but as far as like when you were doing extra roles, what do you think was like the biggest production you were on?
Well, probably The Walking Dead.
Oh, you on The Walking Dead?
Yeah, because I was a zombie. And that was when Walking Dead was like the number. It was like season 4, I believe. Yeah. It was like the show.
Yeah. Like
everybody was talking about it, and I was the only one that didn't know anything about the show.
Was that the first time you seen yourself on TV? Did you see yourself on TV doing that?
Well, I was on like one of the after shows, like working with Denai Guerrera, who plays Michonne, which is on my Instagram, by the way.
Check them out.
I can't wait to work with her and tell her the story. It's really cool. But yeah, when was the first time I saw myself on TV?
And what was that like?
Well, the first time I saw myself on TV was 2008. When my mom, she went on this show called Dear Food Network. Mm-hmm. And she flew out to San Francisco, and she cooked with this chef called Tyler Florence. And so we had to send in like a video, you know, a mock video, like, Mom, you know, you should, Dear Food Network, like pretending to write a letter to Food Network. So that was my first time really seeing myself on TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you in the audience, or like what was you doing on there?
Well, it didn't have an audience, but it was like a Thanksgiving segment. Okay. So I was there while they were filming it. I was on like the little package. They showed the video that we had sent in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, but as far as like being like an actor though, like what was the first time you seen yourself on TV? You don't remember?
Well, does extra work count?
Yeah. Just.
I don't even. Wow. I mean, it was probably no, that wasn't it.
He's done so much. It's been a long journey.
Oh, I would probably say the TLC movie.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah, I was like in the scene where Lil Mama or Left Eye was rapping in the beginning. And there's actually a shot when they were walking down the street because they filmed it in underground. And like I'm in between all 3 of the girls, and I'm like kind of in the distant background, but you can tell it's me. It's actually pretty funny.
Okay.
So
what was it like seeing you? Like, was it?
It was crazy because, like, you know, when you first start doing extra work, it's such a big deal that you're even on a set like that, a real production. Yeah. But then, you know, it's just fun to see yourself. I don't know, like it's funny to me now looking back. Now that I've done like legit, like I mean, extreme close-ups on camera, but like it's a fun memory to look back on. How exciting.
Yeah, I ain't been working so hard, they supporting the couples out of these moves. Let me hit snooze, time for me to get up, get bust, I ain't got time to be stuck. You been escaping, but there's so many tickets up. It's been an honor, the blessing, I don't believe in luck. I'm ready for my son, yeah.